When you first think of the words video games, three big companies probably come to mind: Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. For the longest time ever now, World Star Fight videos have primarily been caused over the disagreement between PS4 and Xbox fanboys. The intense rivalry is insane, I'll admit, but this generation, without a doubt, the PlayStation 4 has completely dominated this console war. From the launch of the Xbox One, Microsoft plunged into many blunders that ended up not only being a PR nightmare, but also it's as if they weren't listening to their loyal fan base and enticed features such as always online connection, banning the use of pre-owned games, and forcing the Kinect onto customers because the Kinect is what we all really wanted out of the Xbox, am I right? Now, even though many of these features never came to fruition, the intention was there, and it's clear Microsoft and the gaming industry as a whole has come a long way and has matured a lot in just a few years. Enter the Xbox One S all digital, sometimes dubbed the Xbox One SAD, which is exactly what it is, a sad missed opportunity. By the name of the device, you may have realized that this console plays no physical titles at all because it's physically impossible. It has no disc drive. Is this an indication of where the gaming industry is going? Is this a better value compared to the regular Xbox One S? Are brick and mortar stores like GameStop doomed? All of these questions and more will be answered, so sit tight and enjoy. Alrighty guys, so here we have it. This is the Xbox One S all digital, a console that I'm really excited to unbox. I've actually never really owned an Xbox. I've actually been a PlayStation guy my whole life, but let's go ahead and take a tour. So here on the top, what you're gonna notice is you're gonna have Xbox One S all digital branding, and you'll see 1 terabyte. Over here you do have a picture of the device. On the front, it does advertise disc-free gaming, so if that isn't clear by now, definitely know that you cannot pop in physical games into this device, as you can see from the front of the device. There's no disc ejection tray or anything of that sort here. It's actually all digital. But what's cool is you do get 3 games included digitally. That's Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and Forza Horizon 3, which, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel with bell notifications, because what I'll do is sneak in these codes throughout the whole video. So if you're a lucky subscriber, you'll get one of these 3 games for free, or all 3, just depends. Try not to be too greedy. Anyway, no discs, 1 terabyte, 4K Ultra HD, HDR, through Team. Here on the side, again, we have disc-free gaming, and basically you'll have all the contents of the of your console. And then of course we have our tab there that says disc-free, and on the bottom we have serial number and other regulatory information. So without further ado, I did bring my mom's little whatever this is called. So anyway, let's pop it open. Safety first. All right, let's see. So we are first presented with Xbox One S all digital, and it shows you how to set up your device, including the remote controller. We do have a little box here, which I assume comes with accessories. So what we'll have here is our power supply, our power cable, I mean. As well, we will have our HDMI. It seems like, yes, a very chunky HDMI cable at that, but we do get the included HDMI cable, high speed. And of course, you cannot miss the Xbox controller. And it's weird that in 2019, these Xbox controllers still need a pair of AA batteries. But hey, I'm not judging. All I'm saying is that the PS4 controller has an internal battery, but you can always buy a separate battery pack, but of course that would be more money. So anyway, your batteries will go there, and this new controller is much better than the 360 controller. It's very comfortable. Your trigger fingers are very clicky here towards the outer edges, and your trigger ones that flank that as well are really, really comfortable as well. So you have your X, Y, B, A button, your menu button, your joysticks, and then your D-pad as well, and your Xbox button right there to sync and turn on your controller. You do charge it there, and then this is also a pairing button as well. Down here is where you can connect a 3.5mm headphone jack or an additional headset. So let's set that off to the side and get into our console. Now, of course, here are our games. So, of course, like I said, stay tuned throughout the entirety of this video as I will sneak in these codes throughout the whole video. So we do have Forza Horizon 3, we have Sea of Thieves, Minecraft, and we do also have Xbox Live Gold to try out for, I don't know how long, for 1 month. Xbox Live Gold. There is your first code to the lucky subscriber. So there it is, pause the video, and these will be shown later on, so stay tuned. Moving on back to the console, this is all that we have left. It is very well packaged, and that is all the contents of our box. Let's set that off to the side, and we get to our Xbox One All Digital. It's packaged very nicely. Peel off the plastic. And there we have it. Xbox logo there. We have our USB 3.0 there. Pairing button here. On the top, we have our ventilation. You can actually see the fan if you look at the correct angle, but the fan is definitely in there. It's a solid matte finish over here with Xbox branding. On the side, we'll have more ventilation as well as your foot. On the other side, again, surprise, surprise, more ventilation and then your foot. And on the back, here's where we have the power supply, HDMI out for your TV, HDMI in, 2 USB 3.0 ports, your IR out receiver. Here you have your SPDIF port. This is for, you know, if you have some kind of headset, a gaming headset receiver. Xbox One S all digital, HDMI, serial number information there, and not much going on the bottom. So this is actually a fairly light device. I'm actually pretty surprised, but there you have it. There is your Xbox One S all digital. From the unboxing, you can tell that the Xbox One S is an attractive looking console, but remember, your significant other isn't with you because of what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that counts. Let's look at the specifications to this console and compare it to its older brother, the Xbox One X, as it would be interesting to see how the most, quote, affordable Xbox stacks up against the most expensive one. The Xbox SAD comes equipped with an 8-core Jaguar CPU clocked in at 1.75 GHz, while the Xbox X has an 8-core Evolve Jaguar CPU clocked in at 2.3 GHz. Both come in with a rather small 1TB of storage, which I think is laughable on an all-digital console. Microsoft, what were you thinking? 2TB should have been the minimum standard here on your all-digital console. Anyway, the all-digital has 8GB of DDR3 memory, whereas the X has 12 GB of ultra-powerful DDR5 RAM. Over in the graphics department, we have Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson versus Brock Lesnar, whereas the Monstrous 10 has 40 CUs, that's 1172 MHz, and a 6 teraflop GPU. The SAD version comes nowhere close to touching the X in terms of graphics. However, when it comes to ports, they're identical. All the essentials you need, like HDMI in and out, 1 front-facing and 2 rear USB 3.0 ports, your Ethernet SPDIF digital audio, and your IR blaster or receiver. Now we come to the most obvious difference. The SAD version has no optical drive, which means there is absolutely no way to play physical media on this device, while in direct comparison, the Xbox One X has a 4K UHD Blu-ray compatible optical drive, which means if you have a big Blu-ray collection, avoid the all-digital Xbox at all costs. The video output for both is 4K HDR on video playback, but the X has an upper hand with 4K HDR gaming on select games, whereas it is only 1080p HDR gaming on the SAD Xbox. In order to power all of this, it is also important to note how energy efficient these devices are. The Xbox Digital has an internal 120 watt power supply, and the X has an internal 245 watt power supply, needed to power up the most powerful graphics. Lastly, if you're the type of gamer to carry their Xbox from place to place, weight and size may be a big factor for you. The all-digital Xbox comes in at 11.6 inches by 8.9 by 2.5, or for my international viewers, that is 29.5 centimeters by 22.6 by 6.4 versus 11.81 inches by 9.45 by 2.36, or 30 centimeters by 24 by 6 centimeters on the X. In terms of weight, we have a huge difference in BMI. The SAD comes in at 5.4 pounds or 2.45 kilograms, and the Roidhead X is at a very hefty 8.41 pounds or 3.81 kilograms. So as you can see, in terms of dimensions, the SAD Xbox isn't that much smaller. It's not like going from an original fat PS3 to the slim PS3, but you'll see the biggest difference in weight, so keep that in mind. Now in terms of price, we need to go over MSRP and what retailers actually sell for. The MSRP, or manufacturer suggested retail price, is what you will commonly see advertised on a lot of tech gadgets. However, each store is free to discount a product even lower if they so choose. My case in point, the all-digital Xbox One S is technically the cheapest of all the current Xboxes, coming in at an MSRP of $249 in the States. However, the Xbox One S is almost always seen consistently on sale for roughly $199, despite the Xbox One S's MSRP being $299 and the Xbox One X at a staggering $499 MSRP, but again can always be found at much cheaper prices like at Walmart or Best Buy for around $399. Now here lies one of the biggest missteps with the all-new digital Xbox. You're essentially paying more for less. Much less. By getting the SAD, you are essentially wanting to move forward with an all-digital world. Now, we've all seen the music industry and even the movie industry move almost entirely to all-digital, as can be seen with the likes of, say, Blockbuster and Netflix. Also, when was the last time you bought a physical album in a CD format? Chances are, not in a long time, and anyone born after the year 2000 has probably never even owned a physical CD. That's not to say physical albums aren't bought, they definitely are, but the industry as a whole has moved to streaming movies and music, but honestly, I'm not quite sure gamers are ready for that step. Sure, there's Xbox Game Pass, which is a subscription service dubbed the Netflix for games, which allows users to pay a monthly fee to have access to a plethora of games that can be downloaded and played, which is great for this kind of device. At $9.99 a month for a growing catalog of awesome games to be played, it completely decimates its competitors in terms of value, especially when you consider that PlayStation Now is ridiculously expensive as compared to the Xbox Game Pass. It's even more impressive that sometimes Microsoft adds in exclusive to the catalog at or near launch, which makes the value even more worth it. I say, pass up on your daily dose of Starbucks coffee twice, and you will open the door for an endless adventure from a huge array of titles to download to your heart's content on a monthly basis. But now let's discuss the controversy over digital versus physical, because after all, the Game Pass is nice, but you are paying for essentially borrowing these titles temporarily. Once you stop paying, the doors are now locked for you, bro. Sorry. Are retailers like GameStop worried at how the Xbox One all digital will perform? Not really. I read an article where one of the higher ups at GameStop corporate said the percentage of SAD Xbox sales is minuscule and they're not too concerned. However, while that may be the case right now, it may not be so for the next generation cycle. I'll be the first to admit that I love owning physical media. I am that rare exception I talked about earlier for physical music. Yes, I still buy physical CDs, but it's more of an intrinsic value more than anything, and also for supporting my bands. Shout out to Slipknot and Motionless in White for new albums coming out real soon. I don't know, it's just this weird thing where you feel more personal connection to a game or album by physically holding on to them. Not to mention the resale value of games. You can easily purchase a AAA title on launch, finish the game within 2 weeks or whatever, and resell it on eBay for a good 70% return. I have been doing this for years, and the mean amount is about $45 for selling a game that's hot, as long as it's within a reasonable time from its release. I think this is one of the biggest drawbacks to the SAD Xbox and hinders it heavily from being boasted as a machine for all. Now, I'm not going to be fake and say digital games aren't the move, because they low-key are. Do you know how amazing it feels to swap games and not get up at all? No need to get your lazy ass up and switch out your games. No sir, we living in the future now. Feels amazing, yo. However, it is at this point I should be a good Samaritan and urge everyone to remember that there are these things called gyms and hiking trails. Every now and then, lay down the controller and go hit some weights or hit a run on a trail. The convenience factor to digital games is obviously there, especially when, if you're an introverted kind of person and want no contact with the outside world, with hot titles you can commonly pre-download the game, and once the street date is over, it is unlocked right at midnight, and boom, you are on your way to be number one on the leaderboards while your loser Neanderthal friends are still in line at GameStop waiting for their copy of the game. So again, I reiterate, while digital games are cool, if you ever stop playing the game or lose interest, you're SOL, as you can't really resell it and at least recuperate a bit of what you spent on it. All in all, I honestly think the Xbox One S is a missed opportunity. It is priced way too high to essentially be a more stripped down version of the already existing Xbox One S, which again can be found at much cheaper prices. I'd say, if you want the biggest powerhouse for graphics and longevity, the Xbox One X is the way to go. It's really similar to the comparison between the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, which I have already reviewed and you should totally check it out. In general, the comparison from the SAD Xbox and the Xbox One S can be summed up with the following 3 points. 1. It doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray player, meaning it can't read any physical media whatsoever. 2. It weighs about a pound less. And 3, it includes 3 games which if you're subscribed and have notification bells, you would have been the first to snag the codes. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, as very often I give products away in the form of giveaways or straight from my videos. Those 3 games are Forza Horizon 3, the online pirate game Sea of Thieves, and Minecraft. The Xbox has surely lagged behind this console generation, which is pretty evident from sales figures of the Xbox One and the PS4. While I get what Microsoft was trying to do here, and while it is technically the lowest cost Xbox to have, it isn't necessarily true. As mentioned, the Xbox One S can be found at around the $200 price point, and it will come included with a 4K Blu-ray capable optical drive, so honestly, why pay more for less features? This console was just recently released on May 7th, so I wonder how long it will be before retail stores drop the price of it. I'd say if it came in at around $150, it would be a go out and get it now, but I think that'd be asking for way too much. But even at $250, you can make an argument it would be a wise choice if it would have come with more capacity, so say maybe 2 terabytes. If that were the case, I'd be able to recommend it to a lot more people, especially those who are die-hard digital fans. But with a 1 terabyte drive in today's age, it'll fill up very quickly and now you'll be erasing your games. You can't deny numbers. The numbers clearly show digital games are being downloaded more and more and more. If you follow stocks, you can tell GameStop and other brick and mortar game stores are suffering tremendously because of the rising age of digital distribution. I don't think these kinds of stores are going to be killed off instantly. Rather, I'm sure myself, shareholders, and the brick and mortar stores themselves can see that their days are numbered. It's quite sad, as I grew up with my first console, the Super Nintendo, and the only way to buy games was to buy the cartridge, blow on them a couple times to get them working, and relax and enjoy a good game. Those days are slowly fading, as with everything, there's always a businessman in a suit wanting to make the most profits possible. Cutting out the middleman, eliminating documentation and game manuals, and replacing them with online iterations of them, eliminating the production of physical discs and shipping them to stores are measures the game developers and publishers are trying so hard to achieve, since it will save them loads of money. But that leads me to another point, and another reason why I think physical games are here to stay. With all those points mentioned, wouldn't you think digital games would be a tad bit cheaper, since by offering digital, you eliminate a lot of costs? Makes sense to me. And that's why finding a bargain bin at your local GameStop is still a thing thousands if not millions love to do. You can buy a fresh new title, play it, let your buddy borrow it, let your buddy's little brother borrow it, and then you can let your girlfriend's grandpa borrow it and then resell it for about $30. You couldn't do any of that with digital games. As you can see, I'm pretty passionate about games. I used to play religiously and was employed with GameStop for a long time. So to sum up the Xbox One S all digital, I would say buy it if you already have a PS4 and have always wanted to link up with your Xbox minority friends. That way, you have your primary console, the PS4, and have the Xbox all digital as a reserve console to download the occasional games to wild out with your Xbox brodies, or even subscribe to the Game Pass to have a huge selection of games to choose from at a reasonable price. Waiting for the price to be dropped to hover at or below the $200 price range wouldn't be that bad of an idea either. Whatever the case may be, it's still a great console, and I'm sure you'll get exactly what you want out of it, as long as you remember the fact that everything you do on this will have to be done exclusively through a digital medium. Well guys, that's been my review and thoughts on the Xbox One S all digital. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you learned something new today or are interested in learning more about all other things tech, from your smartphone to your desktop computer to your gaming console, definitely consider subscribing and watch my other videos, as I love tech and am very enthusiastic about it. Join the discussion and comment down below what you'll think about this interesting device. My next giveaway will be announced very soon, so stay tuned. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.